Hey y'all, it's Dee Dee. I'm a fiber artist who specializes in knit and crochet works of art. If you're new here, I've been doing videos, in the past year recently, just kind of ramping it up. Um, so I wanted to talk with y'all about one of the goals I have for this year, which is to read more. And the way I'm kind of facilitating the motivation for that is to work projects, no, make it a whole project basically. I'm intending for it to be like a blanket with squares based on each book that I've read. Um, so I'm gonna show you the cover for the finished novel that I read, that I just finished last week. I meant to post a video sooner. I've just been busy this week. Um, but this is a quantum love story by Chen. I will recommend all of his novels because they are brilliant. Anyway, with that being said, this one is a romance meets time loop, which is a really great combination in my opinion. I don't really gravitate towards sci-fi novels, but like I said, it's a really great one. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going to get to the review. But I'm also going to show you all the squares and talk a little bit about it. So, the intent for this, I saw a lot of other creators mentioning that this was a way that they were talking about the books that they've read and kind of tracking them. So I wanted to kind of do that too for last year, but I didn't read that much, so I was like, let me just start fresh with 2024. And then January kind of went by and didn't read anything, but February came by, and hopefully this will be a good motivation to kind of keep throughout. Um, so without further ado, this is the square that I created. I didn't create it my own per se. I used a pattern for this one. Some of them will be like free-handed. Some of them will be patterns. It just depends. Now this one already had kind of just everything I needed in the square, or at least I thought I needed. With the addition of the red squiggles. So the pattern I used for the base pattern, which is just the donut center, the and the blue outline of the square as well, that came from the 3D Granny Squares book. I don't remember the authors. I think there's like 3 authors, but I'll try to link it down below as well. But like I said, the only changes that I made were I added the red squiggles, and I used a 5.5 millimeter hook and worsted weight yarn instead, so it's a little bigger than they intended for it, but I think it turned out really good, and I kind of like this size for the squares because it'll give it a good size, so I can kind of add a few more on and not have to make as many to make a decent size blanket. So like I said, this was the inspiration. No, this was not the inspiration. This was the result of the inspiration from A Quantum Love Story by Chen. So I do sometimes include spoilers in my reviews. So I do want to let you know right now, if you do stop watching at this point, that is fine. Um, Spoilers, I have mixed feelings about them. I generally prefer to avoid them because there are some elements in story writing, whether it be like anything, like TV, novels, movies, stuff like that. There are some elements that if you know about it in advance, you don't get the surprise. The surprise doesn't hit you as much if you didn't get spoiled. So, without further ado, if you do not want to be spoiled, I would suggest stop watching right now. But if you're fine with that, or if you've already read it and you just want my opinions about it, that's fine. Stay watching. That's what I'm here for. So with the creative aspect that I was talking about for this year, that's one of the I want to say subplots. I mean, it's kind of a main plot too, but one of the subplots of this book. So basically, how it starts, it's kind of like a little meet cute of the two characters, which at first I felt a little bit of subterfuge and a little bit tricked with the introduction of one character leading to the introduction of the main character, but I do like that because the way that it was done was kind of the only way you could do it, to introduce the story as well. Um, so there is an importance of donuts. I'm not gonna mention exactly what, because I feel it's one of the spoilers that would just be too much and kind of ruin it. As far as, if you haven't read, even if you have read, just if you know about the donuts. But one of the main characters discusses his passion of working, not working. No one really has. I mean, some people do have a passion for work, but anyway, the main character mentions and lives fully throughout this time loop or these time loops, his passion for cooking, which time loops are the perfect therapy if you think about it, because you're given the freedom to do literally anything you want with no repercussions. Which makes me think that in the novel, even though it's not really mentioned of his life before the time loop, it's kind of feels like he doesn't give himself permission to do the things he wants to do as far as cooking, and a few other elements. I know I'm psychoanalyzing it, I'm not trying to go too deep into it. But like I said, it really drives home the importance of finding your passions, finding your joy, and giving into them. And giving yourself permission to just be and creative, So, I'm getting a little emotional. I'm not trying to. But, this is a really good book. And I would, like I said, I would recommend it to anybody who's even remotely interested in sci-fi, the time loop, what is it, trope, or romance novels, Like I said, romance novels aren't really my huge thing, not my huge favorite. I noticed there's a pattern of me not liking romance novels, but liking novels that have it as a sub, mid, or even main plot, as a duality plot, Like I said, it is the first novel that he's written where romance was what he considered a main plot. I kind of disagree a little bit, only because I do think that that the way his other novels, in particular the Here, Then, and Now, and I want to say the beginning and the end. I'm probably paraphrasing those, and I do apologize. But those did kind of have a very romance-forward theme as well. Very good, though. I think this was very well done. So I do want to say thank you for writing this. And like I said, I do intend to do some more squares. I don't have a fleshed out idea of what I want to, read throughout the year. Or create throughout the year. Depending on the diversity of color schemes in the books that I choose, I may have to go to the yarn store. Not like I'd have to be, forced or cursed. But we will see what this year brings. And like I said, this is just the first of many squares and books read for this year. Like I said, I intend to make an Afghan, but I haven't figured out how I want to do that. But that's okay. That's okay. That's part of the creative process. Sometimes you don't know until you know. So, we're just going with that. And with that being said, I'm going to end this video. I do thank y'all for watching and joining me on this creative journey and unintentional, totally intentional book review, but unexpected, because I don't usually do them. I'm trying new things. I think we all should try new things, that's how you grow. You try new things, you find what works, you find what doesn't. I'm rambling, so I'm going to end this video, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Thank you.